Heavyweight Championship, Aspinall versus Gane. UFC 321 is here. We've got most explosive heavyweight in the UFC defending weight. The most explosive heavyweight, in the UFC. And he's going to be fighting up against the most technical, UFC heavyweight as well. And that's going to be Gane, of course. Now, a lot of pressure for Gane, perhaps. Is it going to be something he's able to keep away from? The power and the duress and the speed of Gane, of Aspinall, if he uses his footwork in that distance management? We're going to chop it all up here in this sure to come against the fence breakdown episode. So I'm here with JK. What's good, bro?
Yeah, not bad. Super pumped for this weekend. Lots to go through, lots to dissect.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in. Appreciate that.
It was solo. But we're here. There's two in the house, and we've got a lot to go through.
Yes. Yeah, well, of course. You did it last time on your own, didn't you? Yeah. Me forget about that. That's cool. All right, sweet. And I got some, getting a bit blurry, dreamy and blurry over here. Okay, cool. So we've got a 5-fight card to get through. And if I press this button here, what should happen is you'll see it in the center console. You do, and I'll just scroll down. Really quick before I start, what are you ranking this out of 10? Because we've seen a few people over the week sort of talk about whether this is highly ranked or lowly ranked, or but I think there's some really good bangers on here. At least starting with the third fight up. But what are you ranking out of 10 first? And then
I gave it an 8.3 out of 10 personally.
Solid.
There's a couple I'm super stoked for. The whole main card really. Main fight that I'm close eye on is fight.
Yep.
Because that is going to be a title eliminator, and I've said previously on other live streams that I feel that Maribel could match perfectly up to Philly, but of course he's going to battle Umar. He's got a lot on his plate first in order to get there, and yeah, I'm expecting a close contest between the two. But look, I also wouldn't be mad if Umar was to pick them as well, because I think Nurmagomedov, and I'm thinking they have a better crack second time around, so I think either option is.
Yeah, that's cool. We've got a few. I guess speaking of rematches, we've got Jandiroba versus Dern, and they first fought back in 2020. So it's been a minute, and they're finally meeting. We're gonna have a few questions about the journey they've been on and what they've learned and how far they've come. But is there a particular fight tonight then for you? I mean, I know you talked a bit about Umar and Bautista, but outside of the main event, do you have a fight tonight? Is it those guys, or are we gonna start off with a bang?
I think Rakić versus Murzakanov can be an absolute scrap. Super looking forward to Aleksandar versus Ciryl on the prelims.
Yes.
Hackbrass brings it every time. Not really seen much of his opponent. Killed, I think maybe it was said. Daniel Wood, always good to back. Not really seen much of Jose Miguel Delgado. But yeah, some exciting names nonetheless. But I would probably say Rakić.
I guess, yeah, with that in mind, then let's get straight into it, right? Let's look at these two. I'll bring them up there front and center on screen, and we'll have a look.
Mary is in the house. JK, I'm not hosting, I'm afraid.
You got some...
Why is that?
You a bit choppy, or...?
Why do I look moody? I don't think so. It doesn't look like on my preview screen.
No, you come out clear here. It was choppy a second ago, but you're back now. I thought just be a little bit of getting into it, give it a bit of time. Just a little bit. It's not in, no, but I'm just having a look. Everything's shut down. Did the whole restart as well. See if it irons out. I'm hoping it'll iron out. Otherwise, I'll stick in performance mode for a second. We'll see how we go. But okay, cool. So first fight up on the card, we're looking at Aleksandar Rakić. He's actually the underdog in this this matchup at plus 140. But he's a 33-year-old Serbian kickboxer who uses his range and kicks effectively. Currently on a 3-fight skid, 6-1 of course before that. But this fight, I'm going to throw it over to you, JK. But he's going to need to turn it around this time in this particular fight, because otherwise it's going to be a 4-fight skid, and that always looks a little bit booky in the UFC's eyes. But can you see that the odds are justified in this fight? Do you think that's realistic? Is he going to be able to turn it around, or do you reckon he's what do you think his main weapon will be coming into it?
I think they are justified, because absolute killer on his rise, and I think Rakić is an ideal matchup for him, where Rakić is at the moment. Look, Rakić possesses some skills that can cause Murzakanov a problem, and it's part of the reason why I'm super excited for this fight. Rakić, if he gets the win, I think, if we look at the rest of the for a sec, who else is kind of aiming to get into upper echelon of the division, Murzakanov being one of them. Askarov, he's like, other than that, the only one, it was going to be Zhang Yang. He fell short. I think Murzakanov is exciting. If Rakić can get that win, okay, maybe Rakić can kind of change up his approach here a little. Start to see a new Rakić 3.0 or wherever it is now, in order to get himself back into top 5 level competition. Let's not forget, like, Rakić has had his fair share of injuries as well.
He has.
He suffered an injury against Jandiroba back in 2022, so we didn't exactly see a definitive outcome in that fight. The Prohaska fight, he looked good. Moments started to slow down. He started to kind of get a little bit too aggressive, and which kind of led to Prohaska getting the job done in that one. Ankalaev was a straight up kickboxing masterclass, should we say. So that was maybe a better stylistic fight for him. Realm, but Ankalaev just kind of constantly that he's more of a striker than he is a grappler, because has this ability to stay technical and be calculated with every strike that he throws. And look, he beat Pereira the first time around. So I think there is ways back for Rakić, and I think Murzakanov is the prime example of a fight which he can do that in.
Yeah, fair. No, I like that analysis, to be fair. I think you kind of touched a little bit more on my next question, because we're looking at Azamat Murzakanov, who's literally undefeated at the moment, which makes it a particularly daunting fight for it to happen in. But this is why I love the sport. It's the UFC, and anything can happen, really, isn't it? Pressure's kind of looping as well, because someone like Murzakanov has got a dangerous looping left hand, and he loves to thrive in chaos. Something we just touched on a second ago, but his wrestling is a bit unproven against Rakic's defense, I'd say. How do you propose he closes the distance?
Rakić has got great takedown defense. I mean, Murzakonov's gonna try and make this as ugly as he can, really, because when you've got somebody so technical like Rakić is, who likes to use his range a little bit more, Murzakanov just needs to kind of get into boxing range, really, and use those looping shots to mask his level changes, and that's where he can get on the hips of Rakić. But he needs to do it when he's backed Rakić up towards the cage. And takedown defense will be hugely tested against this cat. And I think if Murzakonov's able to execute takedowns over and over again against Rakić, then I think that proves that this guy is a huge threat in this division, because he's got it all, right? He can knock people out, he can take people down and just ground and pound his way to victory. We have seen in the past, but he can do it against these guys who have been in the division for a long time now. And you probably favour his ability against some of the top 5 guys. To name a few, like Jan Blachowicz who's coming off of he's getting a little bit on now. He's a little bit older. Khalil Roundtree still got it in him, I feel, even though he's coming off of a loss against Yuri Prohaska. But look, he's now 35 as well. So yeah, I think Murzakanov can really shock people this weekend should he get a win.
Is it shout? Yeah, I like how you said that. I think my next question was going to be exactly that. How do you then see him faring up against these other top 5 ranked guys in the division too? And yeah, he's got an incredible win streak, but he's still only 10. He's still yet to be tested up towards those top upper echelons of the division still. Just press the chat remove button because I think it's still on the screen. And then what we can do is we can look at if there's any more chats, but we'll head over to the other screen where we can the rankings card. We can start ranking these guys in terms of their attributes and abilities.
Yes. Yeah, I was doing some tape on this fight the other day. It's gonna be interesting to kind of go through some of the more detailed videos really between these two. I think straight away, striking's actually probably a tough one really, because you've got that kickboxing style of Rakić, very traditional, against a more boxing heavy approach from Murzakanov, and I like Rakic's technical ability. I think where he lacks at times is probably in the mental edge of things, but maybe I want to go overall striking wise to I'll give it to Rakić, but I'd probably give Murzakanov the power advantage and probably the speed as well. I think he's quick. Rakić has got some heavy kicks,
yeah,
and they're quite quick. But I feel that Murzakanov's ability to kind of close distance and land that looping hand of his is a bit of detriment to his speed. And I think he will have that edge against Rakić.
So who are you giving? So speed goes to Murzakanov.
Yeah.
And then you got power to Murzakanov.
Yeah.
And then grappling Murzakanov. Striking goes to Rakić.
Murzakanov as well.
And then cardio Murzakanov. So landslide.
Potentially. I mean, has Murzakanov got a sambo? He's got a sambo background, is Murzakanov? I can't remember if it said it on his
sambo style wrestling.
Say. I know he's used a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, pretty heavy. And where's he from? He's Russian, isn't he?
Yeah.
So you can only imagine. The chat's still on the screen though. It's not. It didn't come down.
Oh, what? I've been clicking.
Oh, there it goes. It's cleared now. It's gone.
Oh, weird.
Okay, cool. No, I like it. I like it. I think, reflective of the odds, that kind of says it all, right? It does say Azamat is going to be a huge favorite in this fight. Looking at the skills and tools he's going to bring to it, he looks like he's going to be the huge favorite in this fight. And for Rakić, really what he's got is just, it needs to be a burning desire to not be done yet. And that's really what's going to be the flame that's underneath him to get him going, because otherwise it's a 4-fight loss streak. What else is he offering to the UFC? Luckily, he might have a few ways to grow, to drop down first before he's gone, and you can probably give him some respect for what he's been able to do in his career, to say that he's going to be gone so soon after 4 losses. But it's a tough fight, really, to have your fourth to stop a skid. It's a really tough fight to stop a skid on. You would hope it's a bit of an easy one at this point, once you've already had 3 losses. But yeah, absolute dog coming through. And on the night also, I will be picking Azamat, I believe. I would like to see Rakić get it done. I wouldn't be disappointed if he did. But Azamat's got to get up there. And I'm really, really keen to see where the ceiling is for someone like Azamat. I just don't think it's here.
Yeah, I really want to see Azamat come through. Yeah, I'm all for that as well. I think he can get a TKO stoppage in either round 2 or 3.
Ooh, nice.
Would be my guess.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's the first fight on the card done. Any chats, any comments, let us know what you're picking for this particular fight. But also, while you guys are there, what's your favorite fight on the card? Because when we get into it, we're going to be asking you particularly for your opinions too. So if you've got a sure favorite, let us know. Next one up is in the heavyweight division.
That's right.
Volkov versus Almeida. I'll let you do chats.
Oh yeah, big heavyweights. George Murray says, "Oh, Mr. JK, I have news regarding Saturday. Okay, you should send it over my way then, brother." Well, got rid of that flyweight who was ranked after 2-3 fight skids. George Murray's going with boy Rakić. Yeah, I mean, look, once you've had a 4-fight losing skids and you get cut from the UFC, then you can start looking at other opportunities. But maybe there's other opportunities or other avenues for Rakić to slip into should he lose this weekend. Of course, it would be tough, but yeah, maybe the UFC might just part ways with him after that. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, could do, but I hope he'll stick around for a bit longer. It's a tough fight, and surely they recognize that too. Very tough fight. All right. So next fight up, we're looking at Aleksandar Volkov, and he's up against Jailton Almeida. So in the red corner, you got the favorite, -200, a durable veteran. He's coming off of a split decision loss against Gane, who's fighting on the main card tonight as well. But that ended up in a 4-fight. That ended what was for him, a 4-fight win streak. Very different style of matchup, as you can imagine, for the guy who he just lost to this weekend. From a very technical striker to someone who's now a wrestler, a very heavy one as well. But on paper, Volkov's 72% takedown defense, that holds up against lesser wrestlers, let's say, right? But Almeida's pace could overwhelm him if he gets in close. So how much of a factor do you think the 7-inch height advantage Volkov has in this fight has to play into this fight?
Your feed was very choppy. I didn't really quite get that. What was the question?
Did you not hear? Did not come through?
No, it was choppy in and out.
Oh, wild. Okay, cool. Well, the question is, and I'll try to slow it down a bit, but on paper, Volkov's got a very solid takedown defense, and that holds up against lesser wrestlers, let's say, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, with someone like Almeida, how important is that 7-inch height advantage that he's got over him going to play into this?
I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact, really. I mean, Volkov's takedown defense is okay, but guys like Aspinall, Ciryl, Gane even took him down in the last fight. So I don't think it's much of a factor, really. One thing that I think Aspinall revealed in the week, that Volkov's height is not what it has in the stats, or not what it is on the stats. It says here he's 6'7", but apparently he's actually 6'9". He just didn't want to be seen as too much of a beast for some reason. But look, he's every bit of 6'9", I would say.
Yeah.
Volkov, he just needs to keep moving, keep circling away, and I think he should anticipate Almeida's shots with fights. So I'm really interested to see if Volkov can do what he can to stuff those. I think where he got taken down by Gane were just during exchanges on the feet in close quarters. If Volkov can kind of circle away from danger and keep Almeida at bay, chip away at him, land those body kicks, but mask them so that Almeida doesn't leg, and then you look to use that as an opportunity to take him down, then I can see Volkov outstriking him on the feet because he's got that technical ability. He looked really good against Gane in that round 2 on the feet. Yeah, what was you
Sorry,
say?
so that it got a bit choppy. I think you're right. It's talking about striking. That was the first time in a long time that we saw Almeida actually finish someone other than via submission. Right? It was granted, it was actually a wrestle heavy performance still before it ended, but he caught Spivak with a solid right hand. And I'm wondering whether that will give him a little bit of confidence in his striking. So much we might see a bit more of it, at least, against Volkov. But that was probably the most significant punch he's had in his UFC career, if I can recall.
Yeah, no, that Spivak fight, I felt like he did quite well. He wasn't necessarily the one anticipating the takedown. Or initiating the takedown, sorry. He was the one that was on taking him down. Although I think Almeida may have scored one takedown. But what impressed me in that fight was actually his ability to reverse position quite well. So it's good to see that he can do that as well, especially against maybe future opponents like a Tom Aspinall,
Right.
perhaps. But yeah, what I think we need to see more of from Almeida is just kind of it setting up his takedown attempts a lot better.
He's got to solve that big range management, the range difference, right? I mean, although the reach is not too far different, it's still going to be a distance managed clinic from Volkov if I understood what you're saying correctly. And so he's going to have to solve that problem closing the distance. That's going to be one of the most trickiest things for him.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I think that's the main thing.
Shall we head over to the gauges and find out exactly how we're scoring these guys skill by skill?
Yep, let's get to it.
All right, there they be. So striking, I think it's fair. We're going to give that one to Volkov.
Yeah, without a
Grappling,
doubt. And Volkov is improved massively.
It has. It really has. Almeida's going to get the grappling. And then we've got power.
For sure.
Volkov. I've seen it more.
Yeah, I kind of tempted to side with Volkov on that. Probably be a lot bigger come fight night than Almeida. Almeida, of course, used to be a light heavyweight. His frame's probably more best suited for light heavyweight still. Speed, though, of course, we can give to Almeida.
Yep.
Sure,
you think Almeida will be faster?
Yes, salute. Wales, I see you. Yeah, Wales, Almeida will be faster. Yeah.
Okay, Almeida gets speed. And then it's all down to that pivotal cardio. I think it's got to be Volkov because I've seen Almeida get tired of lying on top of, Lewis for 5 rounds.
Yeah, of course. Volkov's going to manage it, I think, a lot better. We've seen him dig deep in 5-round fights a lot more than Almeida, so
we'll leave on that, yeah. But otherwise, yeah, huge shout out to you, Wales Gears. Welcome in. Good to see you, man. Glad you're here.
And George Murray says, so you might get your UFC 300 winnings Saturday. Ooh, that sounds very promising.
UFC 300. Oh, nice. Yeah, mate. If you're coming down, bro, if we're at the office, you'll come down and we'll get that Chinese. Yes. 32. I still remember the number, bro. 32. I still remember. We'll have it for when the strawweights fight as well. So have it ready for the co-main.
Well, you better,
let's go, bro.
Better look at Chinese takeaways in Elstree.
Yeah, man. That's the longest delivery I've been waiting for my whole entire life. That was what, 2 years ago we put that wager down. China versus China. Weili Zhang versus Yan Jinan.
Yeah. Sure.
Guys in the chat, let us know whether that's what you're picking also for this fight, the second fight up on the card. I reckon on the night I'll be going Volkov as well. I'm skeptical to just side with the favorites all the time, but I'm just not seeing what I need to see from these underdogs in order to say, do you know what, they've got something there. But tell a lie, Rakić might be it's just too overwhelming on the other side. At the end, I'll give an outlandish pick as to what my underdog prediction might be. But for now, let's get on to the next fight up. We're looking down the barrel of the bantamweight division. Is Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista. And we talked quite a fair bit about this one earlier. It's certainly looking like it's a title eliminator. It's given those vibes 100%. I don't think it's been said officially, but we all know it's going to be. So there's your 28.
No, I think it has.
Been said
I think
officially,
it's in the media day. Yeah, I think it has
valid. So you've got a 28-year-old wrestler machine, Dagestani, Khabib's cousin, of course, but that's Umar Nurmagomedov. And his chain wrestling is probably going to be all about composure and embodying that Dagestani formula, draining and relentless. So really, I want to know whether he's going to put in another sweaty decision performance, or do you reckon he's got what it takes to get a finish in this one against someone like Mario Bautista?
I mean, Mario Bautista is super, super durable. and not. I mean, you know, people just haven't been able to finish this guy. I'm just looking now. He has one loss by TKO, one loss by submission. But like these were, I think, what was it? He got finished by Trevin Jones back in 2021, submitted by Corey Sandhagen in 2019. Yeah, like that's not many people have been able to finish him, and since then he's been on an absolute warpath. I think that for Umar, it's almost like he needs to finish Bautista, because especially looking ahead at a rematch against Merab Dvalishvili, in order to sell the rematch to fight fans, he needs to get the finish.
He needs to show us that he can do something
else. There's no question about it.
Yeah. He needs to show us that he's improved, that he's hit the drawing board, and he's coming back with vengeance. And it's like, oh, okay. All right. Because it's something we wanted to see against.
If he can kind of
go on, you first.
Yeah, if he can kind of land something that's kind of a bit wild and a bit unpredictable, then maybe we can then say, well, you know, if he's able to do that against Bautista, who's got a tremendous cardio, if he catches Merab and it only takes one, then can he do the same? And I think that's going to be a huge selling point. If he gets to a decision, I think people will be a bit like, well, I mean, I'll be excited for it. Like I said earlier, I feel like the second time around, he'll be a little bit more sharper, a lot better. Better probably wasn't prepared originally in the first time, but he knows what to expect second time around. So, yeah, I think the majority of people wouldn't be as excited.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to give a little bit more, right? But then on the other hand, you got Bautista, who is exciting, right? Unfortunately, he is the underdog. I think that's quite extreme, right? He's a plus 450 underdog to Umar, who's 625 as a favorite. So Bautista's 8-fight win streak, right? And they've all been pretty exploding. He's got decision wins over Jose Aldo and Patchy Mix. And he's just a very well-rounded bantamweight. So he certainly deserves your attention. But his takedown defense and ability, or scramble-like ability to get back to his feet, that's what's going to be key in this one. And it's been improving, because we have seen it against Ricky Simone, if you remember that fight. I was so impressed at how he was able to find his way back to his feet and scramble out of those altercations. But it is untested against the likes of Nurmagomedov. And that's a different level of grappling, as you might know. So where Ricky really struggled to keep Bautista down, do you actually think he's going to be able to withstand Umar's Dagestani style?
Well, the answer to that is kind of was in your first question about Umar Nurmagomedov, and that was the chain wrestling. Be prepared for the chain wrestling, because he's good at scrabbling out and getting back to his feet, but once he's in that process of getting back to his feet, Umar's already plotting and trying to get the next takedown on you to make sure that you stay down. So that's going to be a huge factor, because once Bautista feels like he's starting to build a base and get back to his feet, that's when he's going to end up falling back down again. So that's going to be huge. So it'll be interesting to see how Bautista is able to deal with that. We saw glimpses of how to deal with it in Umar's fight against Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen then had some early success across a 5-round fight at getting that done. But then as the fight drew long and fatigue started to settle in, that's when Umar was able to take over. Bautista probably got better cardio than Corey Sandhagen, I feel, anyway. Yeah. So I'm super excited to see how Bautista deals with that Sambo threat that Nurmagomedov has. And can he, if Sandhagen can kind of get back to his feet quick, I have some confidence that Bautista can do the same across 3 rounds. But the problem is he's got to score on the feet, though.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. He can't just be on the bottom end of grappling round after round. That control time is going to be significant. He's going to have to, in the short times he is standing, really claw it back. But he's got speed. He's got great shot selection. He's got the flying knees as well in his toolkit, don't forget as well. So I think there's other edges to him. I'm just hoping we get a chance to see them and it doesn't all get blanketed underneath the Nurmagomedov's wrestling. What's more exciting though between a fight with Bautista and Merab, or Nurmagomedov and Merab? I guess that's obvious, isn't it? But what's your take?
It's just the durability. Yeah, I've said this in previous Aftermath shows that I feel that Mario Bautista is Merab's toughest test, and it is due to that cardio ability. Yes, Umar has a lot of strengths in his game, outweigh Bautista's, but I just feel like cardio alone is enough for me.
Okay.
To be super excited about that fight.
I mean, should we get to see it? That is.
Both can hit. Yeah.
All right, I was just about to go to the next fight, but we've got the some chats from you, but then also let's have a look at what how these guys match up skill set wise.
Yeah. Wales says, how confident are you boys in Aspinall getting the win this weekend? Any doubts? We'll get to that a little bit later on. George Murray says, no doubts at all. Wales says, Volk by decision. He means Volkov by decision. Yeah, I can kind of see that. We didn't really get to overall predictions on that one. I feel like could be a Volkov decision as well. Done in 18 months, says George. That was since the UFC 300. Will be the first time we meet as well. Hope Mario ruins Umar's night. Don't let it go to the judges after Usman versus Hughes. Terrible result. Well, it being in Abu Dhabi might have a bit of a factor in that fight, but so we'll have to see. Yeah, that's true.
Valid.
That's true.
Valid. Yeah. 18 months, man, it's a while. It's a minute.
Mm-hmm.
He's been counting the days in Chinese calendars. Is that?
Yes.
All right. So striking. I would like to give that to Mario, but it's not easy for me to do because Umar's has improved and it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and give Mario speed. Confident there.
Yeah, I'm confident in speed with Mario. I'm confident in cardio with Mario. I feel like, I guess Bautista dealt with Patchy Mix pretty well on the feet. I thought his timing of when to engage was pretty on point. Umar's kind of got some crafty kicks in his game, which I quite like, and he's very good at kind of mixing up the range a little bit. I kind of almost give to Umar and grappling to Umar.
I want to go striking Bautista and power to Umar. I'm thinking. I'm just having a look now to look at
power can see for Umar.
Yeah, kind of looking at what that looks like. Cards. Although Bautista's got more finished by knockout, I just kind of feel like the power is there for Umar. How accurate are these stats to go by?
I see. Bautista's a grinder, man.
I don't have a lot of decisions. Both these guys do. All right, so let's go power to Nurmagomedov. Striking and cardio is what we've got left. I like the idea of cardio for Umar because a wrestler's cardio is a little bit different from a striker's cardio. And I feel like by the end of it, after all of that wrestling, then we're really going to see whose cardio is going to stand strongest. And I think it will be Umar's. I reckon the way to get to Bautista is in those heavy grinds and wrestling. That's how you tire his tank out. Standing up, he's fine. But fighting off wrestling, I think it will be a different
I hear
Bautista.
That. But then, Bautista, going back to that Ricky Simone fight, the way he was able to completely nullify it, and he just kind of remains the same pace throughout almost in his fights.
True, but I just think that wrestling was different.
I mean, I still think he's gonna hold it together. I think across the 3 rounds, even though, even if Umar is able to kind of chain those attempts together and maybe rack up some control, it's gonna be interesting to see. I just think in terms of cardio in the division, I think Merab and Bautista are the top 2.
All right, then. So Bautista gets cardio and striking. We're 2 for 2 at the moment. We're going to split it with striking, and that goes towards Bautista again.
or you say you want to give striking to Bautista?
Yeah, I was thinking power Nurmagomedov and striking Bautista. But what are you saying? You think
I give Nurmagomedov
striking? All right, we'll go with that. And so what we've got here on the card is 3 for Nurmagomedov and 2 for Bautista. Not to say that's exactly what it's going to be like on the day, because there is an X factor. There is something else you can't quite define or put your finger on that drives these guys. So what does it look like for you, JK? Like how are you going to side on the day? You going Nurmagomedov as well, or do you think this is the closest? You think those odds that I read out earlier are a lot closer than what they seem on paper?
Yeah, I'm so torn with this one. I really am, and
yeah. The odds were plus 450 for Bautista.
I'm super intrigued to see how Bautista's favorite
underdog.
Oh no, plus 50.
Yeah, plus 450 underdog.
Yeah, I mean he's not a bad underdog to put on, really.
Put the house on.
Yeah, like I kind of would like Umar to win, but at the same time, I would also love to see a new challenge from Arab. So I'm very torn. I'm very, very, very torn. I'm undecided with this one.
Fair. I
can't.
We'll have to see when we get a bit closer, guys. In the chat, so let us know who you've picked on this fight, and we'll get into the next one up on the card in momentarily, which is the co-main of the evening.
First, George Murray says, striking Mario, grappling Umar, power, speed Mario, Umar fast when shooting for takedowns, cardio 50-50 after the Marab effect. Umar was breathing heavy, but also Mario against Aldo, he was slow later on. He was slow later on, but I also feel that it's almost he had the same similar fight against Aldo as Marab did.
Yeah.
Where in the last round he just kind of held him against the cage and didn't do much. So yeah, I don't know.
That's always a strategy as well. Is like, do you want to risk a 50-50 by standing and striking, or do you want to secure a bit more of a 70-30 by mitigating the striking coming your way and grapple with him as well? So sometimes it might look like, oh, he's tired, but really he's just not putting himself in danger. He's already know he's up. You know, so it's strategy comes into it too, right? But yeah, that's a shout. I would give Mario striking as well. He's got great combinations. Shot selection he's so wise as well with his shot selection. I just don't know if the power is there so much as it is with Nurmagomedov, who can just throw fewer strikes, but you know, stun and effectively stun his opponents. But yeah, I think Bautista's striking is quite beautiful, especially seeing what he done to Aldo. But with the other ones, I think
kick off the front leg that Umar throws is really good as well. Very good with his kicks.
But yeah, thanks for that, Mary, for chiming in on it. I like it. I agree with his striking one, but the other ones I think maybe not so much. I think as we've got there would be accurate. Like cardio as well, actually 50-50. It's close with that one. It's tough. But it certainly explains how what we've broken down is. It shows a little bit more light than what the numbers are. I think the odds are a lot closer than what they seem. So it's interesting. Okay. So next fight up, we're looking at the co-main event, and it's Mackenzie Dern. It's a rematch, which of course has been 5 years in the making. And it's one submission specialist to another. And Jandiroba's out for vengeance, it seems. So it's been like 7 fights victory road, let's call it. So she's on a streak of 6 wins and 1 loss within that. But all of that just to get back to this very point, and that's the initial loss, which was a split decision back in 2020. We touched on that earlier at the beginning of the show. So it was razor close. I think it was pretty close watching it back. But that was 3 rounds, right? And now we're looking at a 5-round bout. Do you think that really matters? Do you think that changes much? And if so, what?
Yeah, I think it changes drastically. I mean, you know, for starters, the overall pace that you put on a fight is going to be a lot less. Maybe a lot less risks get taken.
And how's it going to change in this fight? Like, based on how they fought before, how are they going to be different this time around, do you think?
Well, I haven't really got around to rewatching the first fight yet. I'm hoping to catch that very soon. Yes, it was close. Both girls at complete different stages in their career. You probably argue that maybe Mackenzie has improved the most since then,
Mm-hmm.
even though she got the win last time around. But then also, when you look at people that Dern's fought and lost to, there have also been people that Jandiroba has beaten.
Mm.
So it swings some roundabouts. It really does, over who's going to take it this time around, especially across the 5
It
rounds.
is, yeah. Now, Jandiroba is actually the favorite in this one, minus 150 to Dern, who's like 130. But it's interesting. You know, these guys are scrapping for the belt. This is a dream for Dern. I think I remember in that first fight, she made a comment. She said that after, I think she was talking to Anik about it previously, prior to that. But she wants to do like her own Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school once she gets the belt. So it's crazy. Whether I wonder if that dream is still. I wish I asked it to Kian actually on the in the press conference today. But you know, 5 years on, I wonder if that's still the dream, still the desire. But now she's at the opportunity just because Weili Zhang is moving up. And that's just another conversation. It's going to be exciting to get into one day soon, God willing. But despite how dangerous these girls both are at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a lot of experts do say that it's going to be a stand-up affair. They think the grappling is going to cancel each other out. In the first fight, it did a bit, yes, in the first round. In the second round, towards the end of the round, they kind of engaged in it. But every round started on the feet, and it was for the majority of the time on the feet. But, you know, I think you did say that you feel like Dern has come the furthest since they last fought. But who's had the toughest road, do you think, out of the two?
I think Dern has had the toughest road, purely because she has had to kind of trade wins for losses a little bit. She's had a lot more times to kind of go back, reflect, and try and iron out the kinks in her game. And I think she is progressing in those kinks. And yeah, just looking at it now, Amanda Ribas, just Andrade was a hard one. It was a very hard bout to watch, really. She got punched pillar to post in that one.
Yeah.
Yanjinan did tough decisions. Technical striker, you know, Marina Rodriguez, another one as well. And they've been 5 rounds to those that I just mentioned. So, yeah, I think Dern has had the toughest test.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not to say that John Drove has not evolved since. I think she has. She does a lot of good things, or a lot of things better than what Dern does. I think wrestling is a lot better, for one. And that's always been something that Dern has lacked massively, because we know how good she is on the ground. It's just getting her opponents to the ground and using striking to set up her takedowns, which she's failed on.
Yeah.
Jandiroba, once she gets a hold of you, she does that blitz forward.
Yeah.
She grabs the body lock. She gets that outside trip, and once she gets the fight to the ground, it's in her world against most of these opponents. You know, she submitted Amanda Lemos. Okay, Lemos is someone else who's struggled against grappling heavy fighters in the past. But she was able to do the same against Marina Rodriguez, Angela Hill, Yan Janan, you know, and just kind of grind out those wins.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot to get through with this co-main event.
And we'll chop it up in a second. We'll go straight to the game to look at power and who's got that. But Dern seems to say, she said that she's happy to go there and just let this get a little messy, you know, alluding to how her power is probably one of the biggest evolutions she's had in her game, in a striking and stand-up. Now, she's not really technical, but she doesn't really mind striking. And I think she's got a bit better at it as well, just watching some of the tape. And then you also alluded to the fact that, you know, with a lot of these grapplers, what little striking they do, it's just to set up the takedowns anyway. And why wouldn't you if it's your bread and butter? But I just tend to think that, you know, if we stood up and they weren't allowed, if we put them in a ring and it was a boxing match, I think Dern gets it.
Yeah, I've liked how she's looked in on the pads, and her striking has kind of been getting better and
You weren't
better.
looking at her striking.
Of course I was, yeah. course I was. You know, she's been cracking, man. She's been cracking.
You're watching it on Ricky and her striking. Funny.
Yeah, no, I think I like Dern for striking.
Agree.
I think she's just a little bit more athletic out of the two fighters as well, and I think she puts that together quite well with her striking.
Yeah, athleticism is going to be key. I'll get the things up. But what's everyone saying in the chats on this fight? Like, how are they splitting their parlays on this one? I haven't yet kind of given my if I was a betting man chime in yet, but I certainly will before our main event on which one I think is probably the most likely underdog on the card to looking the strongest. But for now, yeah, what chats you got? And I'll get the gauges up.
My darling dumper truck Dern and new, says George Murray.
she's got a new middle name. She's got a new moniker now. Mackenzie,
a new
darling dumper truck Dern. I mean, if I was,
one thing I did like about Dern, what she was quite honest, I think, in interviews leading up to this, where she kind of said that if Zhang Weili was still the champion, she wouldn't be ready for the title fight. And I kind of admire her for saying that. And I think it kind of says that it kind of speaks volumes for Zhang Weili, right? Of where she's at. She's levels above most of the girls in this division. And I think it's probably, it's such a good thing for her that she's moved up now. Does she come back down again if she was to lose against champion Valentina Shevchenko? Well, we'll have to see. But Dern would have to be tested if she was to pick the belt up this weekend.
Yeah, true. And it's a good test for that, I think. And you know how I love a story. It's quite a story, this one. I mean, not as big as stories go, but I just like the fact that these guys have crossed paths before in the past as well, and this is coming back all wholesomely full circle. So striking, I think I can confidently go down on that one. Give that a tick. That's the wrong one. Striking, there it is. Grappling. Oh, yeah, this is hard. I'm not going to touch grappling yet.
For that,
We'll skip grappling for now. Power.
Power. I'm gonna give Dern power.
Dern on that one, yeah. Speed.
Yeah. Dern.
Don't get speed. Okay. Cardio.
Jandiroba.
You think so?
Yeah, I'll give her cardio.
And then grappling, I think Jandiroba and grappling as well, because
no, straight grappling. Dern's a phenom.
You think so? She is good.
Yeah, the accolades. That's all you can go on. She's got better accolades, grappling accolades. Look, I mean, just scroll through those accolades.
Right, we might be able to justify that on. I need help in the chat because I can't really fight this. Because on paper, you're not wrong. I'm just trying to think. Looking at the last fight, there was just times when Jandiroba was on top. Dern was just. Dern in the last fight, Dern should have stuck to striking when she was winning and not switch up to wrestling. Just habitually, she'll strike, she'll land, and then she'll just go chain her wrestling. And she just needed to she got Jandiroba hurt. She needed to continue in that stead and not opt out. So I just think Jandiroba looked good as well. Jandiroba looks good. Dern was on her back and there was blood everywhere, so it's hard for her to defend effectively when blood was like in her face. Especially where Jandiroba was like bleeding down on her as well. It's difficult. It's difficult. But from what I saw, bro, I would go the other side in there. Anyone in the chat agreeing with me or what? Or am I just like out here defending this on my own?
No.
Just nah.
I'm not. That's Mackenzie done.
Nah, mate. It's still you on your own. You're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
All right, valid. So ranking by the way it looks, the favorite on the card here is Jandiroba. But the way that we've broken it down, it looks like all the balls are landing in Dern's court. And that's very true as well if you've seen her figure and the reaction from men all over the world. That's very true. But Yeah, on the day, what are you going to say?
It's gonna get done. It's gonna get done.
Done or dirt, yeah.
Gonna be a TKO victory. Gonna be a TKO victory in round 2. Yeah, man. It's gonna happen. She's gonna bring the belt back. And she's gonna be one of the most remarkable faces in the UFC.
I think it's a decision, and I'll love Dern to do it. But it's just difficult for me to say. Very difficult. But yeah, I reckon it'll be a decision. Yeah. Probably. Main event time.
Let's get it up. Yep.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
Aspinall dark.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
Tommy Aspinall. All right, so here we are, looking down the barrel of the main event of the card. The reason we're all here, the reason why you guys are out in Dubai, the reason we got Breezy on the ground. We've also, I just didn't say happy birthday to Breezy. Just remember, it's his birthday today. Well, look.
You absolute moron. I done it this morning, bro. I was
thing.
the first one to do it.
I hope he ain't gone to bed yet. It's not too late. But yeah, he's still
might be.
He's only 3 hours ahead. He's still in time. I'll wish him a happy birthday night kiss. You know, just like happy birthday, bro. But yeah, happy birthday, Breezy. He's out there. So Tom Aspinall, current champion, the favorite, minus 355. It looks good on his part. You know, he's finished all 8 UFC wins. So 7 KOs, 1 submission. And he hasn't gone past round 2 since 2016. Is that right? Bruh. Yeah. So having the shortest pro fight time in the UFC is one of the accolades this guy's been screaming about. But that does tell you he's a very dangerous man. Or does it expose a cardio weakness if Gane can survive and take this into deep waters?
Deep waters being a very intriguing line there, because Aspinall, I think, said today that people who use the term deep waters are generally people who get knocked out.
Or grapplers. Grapplers who are able to drag you there.
Which Gane is not.
Yeah, here's the thing with Gane, I don't think he's the guy to. He doesn't have the right to talk about deep waters because I don't think his cardio is sufficient enough to talk about being able to take things to deep waters. I don't think he can survive in deep waters. He's not a strong swimmer, put it that way. Right. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's taken, I think, some of the big heavyweights, like, who was it? Was it like Spivak and maybe tied to Avosa into those realms? But at the end of the day, he already had them beat. Who's just trying to have a look now? Tuivasa, round 3 stoppage. Derek Lewis, round 3 stoppage. So, yeah, like...
Talking about 3.
Doesn't really mean much.
We're just talking about round 3, though. I'm on about like a 5-round fight.
Yeah, I mean, but then Gane's gone 5 rounds, way more than Tom has. You know, he went 5 rounds with Francis, hard fought bout, back and forth. 5 rounds against Josiah Rosenstruck, 5 rounds against Aleksandar Volkov. Very technical striking.
He did. You know, he's no RDR. He's not giving up in the 4th, but he's he hasn't looked the best. He's not looked the best against Francis Ngannou after the 5-round fight. He didn't look the best when he was there, you know. But I guess the other thing to flip it to, though, is all right. Let's shine a light on Tom for a second, okay? So, do you think there's a lot of pressure on him? So, I was listening to Brendan Sharp earlier this week, and he mentioned that Jones beat Gane in something stupid like 2 minutes, right? It was really quick, and this was probably the closest we're going to get. We're going to get to be able to compare Tom's performance against Jones as a heavyweight. And there's no other way that we can put these guys in the ring and make them compete. So this is how we're competing them. We're putting them up to the same measuring stick that is Gane. So do you think there's a lot of pressure on Tom to say, yes, I'm better than Jones because I've beat him in less time it took? Or is that just not how the maths?
I guess it's right. I guess it's true. However, I do believe that there's pressure regardless, right? I think no matter what the outcome is going to be, people are going to have something negative to say about it. Say if Aspinall finishes Gane in a shorter time than John Jones did, right? First minute, goes in there, shoots for a takedown, subs him early, right? Then people are still going to say, but we've not seen Tom Aspinall go the full 5 rounds. We've seen him go 3 rounds in forever, right? Does he have the cardio? We've still yet to decide that. Whereas, if he does make it a drawn-out fight, yeah, people are going to say, but John Jones finished Gane a lot earlier. But let's not forget, Gane should evolve since that Jones fight, right? So Aspinall's should have a better Ciryl Gane.
We should, should.
Yeah.
So that's what a math isn't necessarily mathing when you kind of the test isn't
like. Do you guys not want to see Tom Aspinall go a lengthy period of time and just kind of dominate across 5 rounds? Do you not want to just kind of tick that box to say, okay, we've seen that now, it's official, there is no excuses, he is the best heavyweight on the planet, and no one else can come near to him. Jailton Almeida wants to try and grapple him for a full 5. Is he going to, though? Tom's much bigger, he's powerful, he can get back to his feet, and he can, do damage later on in the fight.
Yeah.
It's all going to be there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm good for either outcome, to be honest. I'd be happy with whichever it is. If he goes out there, steamrolls Gane. But part of me believes that he's going to want to prove a point.
Yeah.
And I feel like coming into this, I think everyone's expecting Tom to just go out there, level train straight away and get a submission win like that. Similar to what he did against Volkov, right? But part of me thinks that now that he's a champion, maybe he wants to test his striking against Gane. Maybe he does feel like he can knock Gane out and bet him on the feet. So that's what I'm expecting. Imagine, there's going to be back and forths after this fight. I can guarantee
when you said you're happy either way,
it's going to be.
Were you talking about whether Gane wins or Tom wins, or whether Tom knocks out or Tom gets decision?
No, just however Tom wins the fight. I'm happy either way.
Fair.
But yeah, if Jones, I think John Jones fans are going to say, but Tom didn't finish him in that amount of time. And I can kind of see Aspinall fans then replying and be like, but did Jones knock out Gane?
Yeah.
Because I see Tom Aspinall knocking out Gane, getting the TKO victory, and there's just going to be that constant back and forth. Aspinall fans that are right if that is the outcome.
No, fair. And I think also something we've got to look at here is just the idea that this is a huge thing. That's why it's almost pressure too, because if Tom doesn't get the win, let's say that happened, because right now he's being talked about as potentially the GOAT next to the likes of John Jones. And they're saying John Jones is the GOAT for everything that he's done, but some people are saying, but he can't beat Tom Aspinall. If he loses this, then no one's ever going to think he ever would have had a chance beating John Jones, no matter how much he would have ever convinced otherwise. So it's a lot will fade away in one blink of an eye. Should he lose this fight, a lot would fade away.
Oh, for sure.
And he's done so much. But let's talk about a Frenchman for a second. He's very technical. He's a striker with it's good though. He's got decent footwork and good distance management at least as well. But we've said it right. His grappling defense has been exposed before. And he's not really given us highlight performances either, like back-to-back decision wins over Volkov and Sergey Spivak. Straight after a title loss, nonetheless, as well. So there's not a lot to be excited about when looking at Gane. But do you think the odds are justified in this, or do you think that Gane is more dangerous than the general public opinion is right now? Because underdog of 280 versus... there's a lot to talk about Tom Aspinall and how good he is, but are we just underestimating Gane? Are we really kind of like disrespecting him?
No, I think it is. No, I think it is justified because pretty much everybody, including their nan, felt that Volkov beat Gane in that last fight. yes, Gane probably took the first round. He had a submission attempt, but Volkov won rounds 2 and 3. Gane really didn't do anything that impressive in the third round at all. So you've got that against Tom Aspinall, who's just been steamrolling through everyone in this division. I think they are justified, really. And yeah, that kind of adds to Tom's pressure. And in a way, maybe there's not so much pressure on Ciryl Gane because everyone feels like he shouldn't be in the position that he's in. So maybe it's kind of best for Gane to kind of have that step back a little bit and go, right, okay, this is now my time to go out there and prove that I am the best in the world. And if I beat Tom Aspinall, who's the guy who everyone thinks beat me, then they're going to soon forget about that Volkov fight.
Yeah, it's really broken up now. I'm not sure why. Just checking everything. I've only got 2 things open. That's I think it's actually more. I don't know. It could be the Wi-Fi. I don't know. You're just quite strong. Yeah, no, fair. And look, strong points. It's annoying actually because the points are really good, and hopefully this has come through clear on the other end so much so we can clip some of this up because, yeah, it's this is a big fight for so many reasons that a lot of people might not have even realized yet. So yeah, man, I can't wait for it. Really can't wait for it.
The only fight John wants is the one with his wife. He'll be all over Twitter at 250 of the first, and he'll just keep chirping. Yet had to vacate to avoid Tom. George, yeah, no, I think you're pretty much right with your prediction there. I mean, John's going to be John at the end of the day. Like he's going to try and stir the pot for fight fans for as long as he can, but. Yeah, at the end of the day, there isn't really much of an excuse because he did blatantly avoid Tom. So,
yeah, I don't know. I wish that fight happened just because settled it, but also I respect John still a lot. Actually, I still for what he's done and everything he's achieved. So it's hard for me to kind of say, but it's tough. We can always fight till the cows come home about how that fight would have happened. And that's the only way to settle it, unfortunately. The only way to settle it is put them both in the ring and have them fight each other. So yeah, one day I'm hoping that fight does come around just so we can actually settle it. But otherwise, I like how John Jones has done. Did we get the gauges up? We didn't, did we?
No, let's get into it.
Striking. Now, you got a technical striker in Gane, and then you got a fast, explosive, dynamic striker.
I think it's fair to. I think the toughest one out of this list is probably speed for me. Striking wise, I'm probably going to go with Gane, but then the power side is for Aspinall. You know, it's pretty evident in his fights. The fact he locked out Sergey
Spivak. Pavlovich, yeah, sorry.
In impressive fashion.
Very impressive.
So, yeah, speed's a tough one. Grappling-wise, of course, it's Tom. There's no doubt about that. Although one thing I did like about Gane in his last fight against Volkov is when Volkov executed takedowns, Gane was trying to wrap up heel hooks. He kind of did the same in the Ngannou fight in a way, and it just kind of gave that person engaging in that area something to think about. So I think Tom will have to watch out for that in the early stages, but I don't think Gane will pull it off. But it's something to think about. Overall, still going to give grappling to Aspinall. Cardio-wise, I mean, yeah, I guess you'd have to give it to Gane, really, because question marks still hang over the head of Tom Aspinall in that particular area.
Yeah. Then speed. I want to give it to Aspinall.
Speed. Yeah. We've seen how he can kind of bull rush people and get takedowns with that speed. On the flip side, we've seen how light he is on the feet, and how good he is at managing distance with his speed. Yeah, he's definitely got a bit of a spring in his step, but yeah, you can give it either way, I think, with speed.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, speed. We'll lock it in there. So Aspinall's got that one as well. So 3 on Aspinall's side, 2 on Gane's side. Aspinall is the favorite. Gane is the underdog. Really quickly, looking at the underdogs of the night and the favorites of the night, I think the most likely underdog to get the win is gonna be Dern. If I was a betting man, then I'm feeling that Bautista is probably gonna do something surprising. If I was a betting man, but otherwise,
yeah, I mean, it's worth putting money on, I think.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think quite safely, Dern is the underdog of the night. That's going to be looking to do something quite remarkable in her fight, get the belt. It's going to be such a moment as well to finally see it all this time. I'm so emotionally attached to that visual of Dern raising the belt. It'd be great to see. I'm all for it.
Just checking the odds on the Aleksandar versus Jung Park fight. How on earth you got Jung Park as a moderate underdog at plus 220? That is disgusting. The Iron Turtle will prevail in that fight and prove people wrong. So if you're a betting man, bet the house on the Iron Turtle as he claims another stole this weekend.
Let's go for the Iron Turtle. Why wouldn't you?
Gonna happen.
Yeah. No, it's a solid one. I've not really delved too much into that into the preliminary card, but we're going to be this weekend, for those of you guys who don't know already, giving the full coverage of the whole entire card for an absolute special pay-per-view, UFC 321 special ATF pay-per-view watch along. That means the spinning wheels back. That means these crazy activities from betting George Mary for a takeaway is going to happen, and then of course even the ice bucket challenge will be back as well. So a loser in their picks will be getting.
Wait, are we allowed to do that?
Will be getting soaked, top to bottom.
Wait, we're not allowed to do that though.
We're not, but I thought if we're doing outside, I mean, you just put your camera to the window, innit? It's not like we're going to do it in the house. Just do it outside.
Is he fine? Did you say that?
Yeah, it's like it'll be outside. It's fine. It's just more like the pie face and the things that are inside.
Oh, cool. Okay, then. Yeah, nice. If we got ice bucket, let's have it. Yes.
Yeah.
All for it. All right then.
Should be decent. I also checked in with the office too, which is a sure possibility. And that's looking quite good. Oh, that's right. I just got to drop a message to the team and just see. I just got to drop a message to everyone in the group and just say, anyone in on Saturday? If it's a no, then great, we got the space.
All right, that's a backup. But so far, yeah, we're all good with plan A options. There's only a few things that we could take off the wheel.
Yes. All right, cool. But for now, and for
right,
you guys who are watching
awesome
along
stuff,
at home,
guys.
don't miss it. Make sure you're there.
Yeah, hit that notifications bell. We'll be live for a much earlier time. The start of the prelims, and we're going to give you a jam-packed show throughout the whole live stream. So yeah, make sure you stick around for that, and make sure you're there because it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right, guys. Good night. Take care. God bless. Keep it real. See you next time.
Now, bye-bye.